Moving on to finally some Saturday games here in Week 5. This game, Quinn, I'm just going to say this. It's USC, who's ranked 21st, 4-0, looking really good so far, against a team that just got beat by 50, but is still ranked 23rd. I think you can guess who that team might be, Quinn.
Yep.
Illinois. This game, USC's favored by 6.5. Listen, 73% chance to win, according to ESPN for USC here. Interesting matchup coming off a 50-point loss here.
Yeah. Yeah. And this game is in Illinois, correct? Or
Yes.
okay. So that's the only reason I think this game is going to be close is because USC has to travel from LA out to the heartland of Illinois. But at the end of the day, I think this USC team's pretty legit. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go win the Big Ten. So pump the brakes there. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. But I think this is kind of like a must-have game for the Trojans. If they lose on the road here to Illinois, their whole season's going to unravel
Mm-hmm.
pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if they can get a win here, I think they could build momentum off of that win and finish the season pretty good. So look, some of this might be I had faith in Brett Bielema boys last week, and they got absolutely curbed by Indiana, and I'm just picking opposite of them out of spite. But some of it is like, let's be real. Everyone likes to clown on Lincoln Riley. Name me, name me 8 coaches with more success than him over the last 8 years.
It's
You
tough.
can't. You,
Yeah.
you, you can't. You can't. So I think he's still a good coach. I mean, look, we all know he struggles coaching defense, but offense, not a problem for USC. So give me the Trojans to get the win here. I do think it's going to be a scrappy game. I don't. Anytime that we've got a somewhat even matchup between a team from the main part of the Big Ten going up against a team from the West Coast, I think the game will be relatively close just because of the travel distance, right? Like that's going to play a role. Um, so that's what I think helps keep this game close for Illinois, that and wanting to bounce back after getting beat up like that. But I think there's also a psychological beatdown that happens to you when you lose a football game as bad as they did on such a big stage just last week. Now you got to turn around and play a USC team that's just waiting to actually play a game that matters. So yeah, I think USC gets a win here.
Yeah, I had big hopes coming into this year for the USC defense in particular. I was
Yeah.
hot on USC. I guess at this point it was 2 years ago. I had them in the preseason playoffs, and that was simply not the case. And I saw USC play Michigan State and give up 31 points to Michigan State and said, "Yep, same old Lincoln Riley, same old USC won't have a very good defense." However, I'm gonna say something, and this may be crazy. I think USC's quarterback, Mayava, or however you say his last name, fits better in the system than Caleb Williams and will probably be more successful stats wise in his career at USC than Caleb Williams was. He's averaging 330 yards passing on the year, which is very good if if you're a casual and do not keep up with college football stats. That's very good. Um, I'm and then man, it really makes me sad because when I think about Illinois, I think they got propped up early this year because of the success last year, and this is the problem when you do that is you come up to games like they had against Indiana, where you just get exposed. I mean, this seems to me pretty similar to, and I know it's a little different, but Florida State last year. Like they came into the season preseason top 10 because of the year before, and they get exposed week 1 against Georgia Tech, and then it keeps happening. But I don't think they got beat by 53 points very often. And for Illinois to do that, that scares me. I think USC gets this win, and I think Illinois is a fraud. I don't think they should be ranked. I think personally, I think if you lose by 30 plus, you shouldn't be ranked. I period. It's just the
That's,
way
I
it
mean,
is.
and specifically with this matchup, watching how many busted coverages they had against Indiana really worries me when you're about to go against Lincoln Riley. I don't care who's playing quarterback for Lincoln Riley or who's at wide receiver for Lincoln Riley. If you've proven that you can get exposed that badly in the secondary,
Mhm.
it's probably going to happen to you when you play against the Lincoln Riley team. Like, let's be real.
Right.